y'all ready for some dream? I'm ready for some dream. Let's get this new year started off right. Dream predictions coming up next. What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my dream K-1 Power of Courage 2010 New Year's Eve predictions. This should be a good card. Going to go over the fights that will more than likely be not only televised, but will have some meaning to them. The other ones that I think will not be so compelling. I'll give my quick picks on those. Let's work our way from the bottom up to the top. Satoshi Ishii versus Jerome LeBanner. Ishii, gold medalist judoka, primarily with judo. Was supposed to go into the UFC, did not. Ended up signing with Dream in FEG. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. He's got a win over Shibata and a win over Minowa. So this is an interesting fight for him. LeBanner, K-1 level kickboxer. Last fight in MMA was back, I think, in 2005, 2006. So, if Ishii can close the distance and get LeBanner down, he should have a decent enough time to try to maneuver and look for a sub or try to do some ground and pound. LeBanner, if he's able to keep this standing, which I think is going to be very, very difficult for him, he could land some combinations and put Ishii in trouble, but I'm going to go with my gut on this one. I think Ishii takes this one late first round submission over Jerome LeBanner. Sergey Haritonov versus Tatsuya Mizuno. Haritonov, well-known Red Devil Sports Club member from the past. He's got good kickboxing. He's a decent grappler on the ground with his sambo. Has shown some deficiencies in the past in the clinch, which Mizuno could give him some problems with. He's a talented judoka. I think Haritonov, though, Mizuno has shown some trouble spots against guys that are able to keep the fight standing and are, talented enough on the ground as far as grappling is concerned to give him problems. And in fights where he should have won, he's lost, unfortunately. So I think in this one, Haritonov will pull out a split decision. I think this will be a close fight. Mizuno, should have some bright spots in this fight. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say Haritonov gets a second-round TKO. That's going to be my pick. Late second round TKO for Haritonov. He should be able to stop Mizuno. So that is my pick. I was going with a decision on that one, but I'm going to reverse that pick on the spot. I'm going to go with Haritonov, second-round TKO. Jason Hai versus Hayato Sakurai. Jason Hai, talented wrestler, has improved with his boxing. We've seen that in his last couple fights. Has really improved over the last year and a half, 2 years, with the exception of the decapitation that Marius Aramskas gave him. But Hayato Sakurai is coming off of a 3-fight losing streak, and really this is a middle-of-the-roads type of fight for him. He's not a relevant welterweight anymore, unfortunately. If he doesn't win this fight, it kind of puts him at a crossroads of what do I do. He's looked good in the past couple fights, but just hasn't been able to come in the right kind of shape, hasn't had good cardio, and he really has to come into shape into this fight because Jason Hai is a legitimate guy, especially if he comes in with a decent game plan, which I think he will, of using the jab, trying to make Sakurai exchange with him, and then taking him down, and I think that's what's going to happen. This one's going to be close, but I'm going to take Jason Hai via split decision. While I think Sakurai will come in better shape for this fight, I think Jason Hai is on the way up, and Sakurai, unfortunately, is starting to show that, whether it's an issue of he doesn't want to train anymore or he's not in the right camp, I'm not sure which one it is, but that's got to get rectified. But I'm going to take Jason Hai via split decision. Cal Uno versus Kazuyuki Miyata. Uno should be able to pull this one out. I'm going to say unanimous decision. He should be able to do enough on the feet and on the ground to pull that one out. Tetsuya Kawajiri versus Josh Thompson. This is a compelling fight. Kawajiri, most know him back from the Pride days. Most notably, the fight I talk about a lot, and a lot of other fans bring up, is the Bushido 9 fight when Gomi and Kawajiri first fought. Kawajiri was coming in as the deep lightweight champion. Gomi was the Pride lightweight champion, and that was a fight that put both of those guys on the map. Kawajiri, talented wrestler, pretty good grappler on the ground, good boxing. Josh Thompson, very, very talented wrestler, good cardio, good boxing, good kickboxing. This is an interesting fight. Kawajiri has been, off and on as of late. I'm going to take Josh Thompson in this one. I think this is going to be a back-and-forth fight, a very, very compelling fight. I'm looking forward to this one, probably the most behind the main event, which I'll get to here in a few minutes. But I'm going to take Josh Thompson via I think there's going to be a lot of splits on this card. I'm going to take Josh Thompson via split decision. I think this is going to be a close fight, but I think Thompson will be able to do enough with the wrestling and with some of the more technical striking, and I think he will beat Kawajiri. Shinya Aoki versus Yuichiro Nagashima. This is supposed to be a special rules matchup with MMA, and I believe K-1 rules as well. It really depends on... I heard that there's going to be a coin toss for this fight. It depends on who gets the round first. If Aoki gets an MMA round first, he probably will win this fight. So I'm going to say Aoki wins this one, probably by sub. Even if he doesn't get it in the first round, he should be able to get Nagashima down and sub him. So that is going to be my pick. Alistair Overeem versus Todd Duffy. This one, I'm not sure why this matchup was made other than the fact that it's for entertainment value, because not being rude or being mean, I'm just looking at skill sets here between both guys. I think most of you will understand where I'm coming from. But Alistair Overeem versus Todd Duffy. Todd Duffy is a decent boxer. He's a big guy, but he's shown deficiencies with his cardio. And Alistair Overeem is just way, way, way too well-rounded. He's talented on the ground with his grappling. He's a better kickboxer. Alistair Overeem's going to take this one, I think, probably via a brutal first-round stoppage. And my phone just went off. Brutal first-round stoppage for Alistair Overeem. And that's going to be my pick. All right, Dream Welterweight Championship, Marius Zaromskis versus Kazushi Sakuraba. Sakuraba is still fighting. Can you believe it? We know what Zaromskis is good at. Talented kickboxing, moves forward, has very good cardio, loves to switch stances. From southpaw, he can strike from normal stance as well. Sakuraba, primarily, I'd say decent kickboxing, very, very good grappler if he can get you down from the top or the bottom. Zaromskis, I think is favored by most to win this fight, and to be realistic, Sakuraba, I think, is going to have a tough time getting Zaromskis down. Zaromskis does have decent takedown defense. It has been improving. We have seen that in most of his recent fights, even dating back to some of his past fights as well, the improvement there. So I think Zaromskis is going to take this one. I think he's going to stop Sakuraba with a brutal TKO, unfortunately. I'm going to say first round for Zaromskis to retain the welterweight championship. I think Zaromskis is just too much. He moves forward. He's very, very quick, high-paced. Sakuraba, I don't think, is going to have enough time to adjust to that, and I think that's going to play a part in this fight. Plus, really, Sakuraba, other than the fact that he is a Japanese legend, really should not be fighting at this point, but to each his own. So Zaromskis, first round TKO. All right, second fight I'm looking forward to the most on this card. And it really depends on what type of strategy we see out of Bibiano Fernandes. Bibiano Fernandes versus Hiroyuki Takaya. Bibiano Fernandes, black belt in BJJ, has really shown an improvement with his boxing and his kickboxing. We've seen that in his past couple fights. Has really looked very good at featherweight since that cut down. Takaya, primarily a brawler. He likes to throw punches. He's got okay takedown defense, decent grappling. He's got a little bit of a judoka background, primarily though with street fighting. That's where his background comes out of. This is a fight that on paper, if both guys choose to exchange, it could be a very, very entertaining fight. It depends on if Fernandes gets clipped. He has shown in the past where if he's been tagged or he's gotten into an exchange where he doesn't feel comfortable, he'll kind of shell up a little bit, move back out of the pocket, not want to exchange very much, just use the jab, catch a guy off guard with some leg kicks, and then try to take him down. So it depends on the exchange. I think this is going to be a very entertaining fight. I think Fernandes should be able to win this one. And I'm going to say he actually gets a stoppage in this one. I think he will be able to catch Takaya either by a hook or a counter, dropping him, or getting a takedown and landing some ground and pound. I'm going to say a late second round TKO for Fernandez. He is a slow starter sometimes, so I'm thinking Fernandez will get a stoppage, but just a little later into the fight, so that is my pick. So that should be an interesting one, as well as the Thompson versus Kawajiri fight. I'm going to be watching this card. I know most of you are going to be watching. Those are my picks. Let me know what you think. I probably, and unfortunately I probably will not be back to do a review on this one, only because of family being in town. So I'll be back tomorrow, which is going to be Wednesday, to do my UFC predictions, so look out for that. Make sure you watch this card, HDNet, Friday morning, 4 a.m. I know I'm going to be on Skype. Those of you that are interested and want to get on, I think I'm going to be on with Byron and some other individuals, maybe Sean Hatch, the MMA professor, Mike, Mio Dread, some of those individuals. So if you're interested, you want to jump on Skype, PM me, let me know. You're more than welcome to jump on with us. You can have almost up to, I think, almost 20 or 25 people at a time in a party. So just let me know if you're interested. I'll be up watching it. I know those guys will be too. You guys take it easy. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, and I'll catch you guys for the next card, UFC 125 predictions. And I'll catch you on my year-end awards video as well. So you guys, take it easy.